What's up, guys? Today we are going over one of my favorite tools in IT, which is PDQ Inventory and PDQ Deploy. No, I am not sponsored or anything. I just want to share with you guys my opinions on this tool and how to install, how to configure it, and all of its really good uses. If you are new to the channel, my name is Ryan. I currently work as a system administrator, and I just wanted to share all of the information that I've learned throughout my career and hope to help you guys as well. So first up, PDQ inventory is basically just something to deploy in your environment, and it gather all of the analytics and information of all the devices in your network. And what this does is really give you visibility in things like all of the computer hardware, things that you would see in something like system information. If you pull it up on your computer, it provides a ton of detail about your computer, all the hardware specs and things like that. And all of this gets populated into PDQ inventory, which is basically just a management solution for your inventory. And now this seamlessly works with PDQ deploy, where you can utilize inventory and deploy. Essentially, you can create installation packages, schedules, scripts, pretty much anything you can think of for deploying to a computer remotely. That is what PDQ deploy is generally for. So now, with that being said, let's just get right into it. I don't want to waste your guys' time talking about it. I want to actually be able to do it. So we can head over to our internet browser, just go to pdq.com/downloads, and we want to avoid using download trial. Now, one other thing about PDQ is that it has two different versions. It has a free version and it has an enterprise version. We want to steer away from this download trial button because that will try to push you into enterprise after the 2-week period. Instead, we can just go with the free mode. It has most of the features. There's some little things you can't do, but if you are planning on just using it, testing it, you don't actually need to do this trial stuff. You can check out a couple of the features that you might be missing, like an automatic sync to Active Directory and certain options and features, but you can get a whole lot done with just the free version. So I'm going to show you guys that. Again, upgrade if you really like it. Again, you can just upgrade if that's the path you want to go for the enterprise version, but you could use it for free. So let's do that. So here, again, stay away from the download trial. We can go to download latest versions. And it does tell you to put in your email, your first name, last name. You can just type in your email. You can use any email you want, and it's just going to shoot you an email with the download in it. There's nothing else to it. You don't got to sign up. You don't got to pay. You don't got to enter in a credit card or anything like that. Just your email to sign up. Again, I'm not going to do it because I already did it. So I'm going to get right into what happens after you download the actual software. All right, so here we are. We got the two. Let's start with inventory. And of course, we're just going to accept, next. Now, be very careful here. There's a portion of this where there's going to be a tiny little text that you need to click to bypass the trial stuff. Do not launch the trial because then you're on a 14-day trial, and that's not what we want. We just want to get right into the free version so you guys can at least try it with no, hassle. So let's just wait for this to load up. So since I already downloaded it, it did hold on to my information. I'll see if I can find a screenshot for you guys to make sure you click. There's little text at the bottom. There's just a little blue text before you start your free trial, and it will say continue on with the free version. Make sure you click that and you'll be able to get right in. So you'll do that exact same thing with both pieces of software. So I'll launch deploy as well. And then we're going to go over just a couple cool things that I really like about the PDQ, and I'll let you guys play around with the rest. So continue on with this, hit install. I'll let that go, and it looks like it's going to again skip the setup for me because I already did it once. All right, now that we are in here, let's go over a couple of things. So let's say we just want to add a computer into PDQ inventory. We'll start with this first. All we want to do is do something like add computers. Everything that's grayed out here is the enterprise version. We can use the name. It doesn't have to be on the network as long as it can see whatever computer this is. It'll let you add the name, or we can use the Active Directory that is attached and browse by that. Today we will be doing by name for me, and I'm just going to do Ryan's PC and hit add. As long as I can see it, as you can see here, this is a local computer. It's not joined to my domain, so it'll let me add that. And I believe I have another computer. Yes, so I have two different computers here. One's on my domain and one isn't. And I'll just add both of them. All right, so for the sake of this video, let's just check out what kind of details that PDQ inventory actually supplies. And this is what screen that you are going to expect. You're going to have all of Active Directory information, and then plus all of the hardware, the BIOS settings, serial numbers, and things like that, all inside of PDQ inventory. Super easy to set up. As you can see, you can just either manually add all of the computers, and you can do that probably by exporting some kind of spreadsheet. Because let's be honest, everything is scriptable, so it just depends on what kind of environment you're deploying this in. If you have the enterprise version, your life is a lot easier because you can just have an Active Directory sync enabled, and it's just going to scan everything in your Active Directory. And as well as all of this information you can see here, we do have a lot of locked icons. Again, this is for the enterprise version, and if you want to try that out, you would probably want to do the free trial instead. But for my sake, free version, more than enough stuff. We can see all the applications installed on a computer and a couple other things down here. Now, one thing really quick to show you guys is one of the other really big reasons I really love PDQ inventory is that it can kind of group all of your computers into nearly anything you want, either the operating system version or an application version or just a piece of software in general, and you can use these dynamic collections to automatically filter all of this information. What this lets you do is find what piece of software you need to update or what operating system versions all of your computers are on and things like that. And you can take action on those groups using PDQ deploy, and you can actually schedule things out. Now, again, a lot of these features might be blocked by the enterprise version, but I'm going to show you guys how to do most of this stuff manually anyway. So if we go here into our collections, hit new and dynamic collection. Here, this is where we can filter pretty much anything we want. For our sake, let's just do application name contains, let's do Google. And you can see here, DC01, the reason why it's pulling this up is because it contains Google Chrome. And that's really it. I'm going to keep it there for now because I can go on and on about how to use these dynamic groups in different ways to filter, but you can get really funky with it. Again, you can filter out all of these versions and do cool stuff like that. But to keep this video at least a little bit short, we will skip that stuff and let's head over to PDQ deploy so we can see how that works. So in PDQ deploy, all we really want to be doing is building packages, and these packages can have either applications to install, or it can have scripts, file copies, things like that. And I can show you guys that here if we just hit new package up at the top, and we can create these new steps. And here you can see that we can create these different commands, PowerShell scripts and things like that. But again, all of these locked icons, the enterprise version. So let's do install. And what this is basically a way to install using an install file. And that's usually your MSIs, your EXEs. But a little trick, you can also use BAT files or PowerShell scripts and run those. But a little trick is that you can use this to also run BAT files or PowerShell scripts and things like that. I know there's no PowerShell option here because it's locked, but if you use this install option, go here and navigate to the script itself, you'll be able to run that as an install package anyway. So it's pretty much the same thing. So let's continue on. Again, I hit new step, hit install. It's going to create this step 1 here, and all we're going to do is use our setup file. And for, I guess, our example, we're just going to do this Microsoft Edge install. You can name things however you want. I'm just going to be a little bit lazy with it. So this is basically the way you would install software through command line. This is generally how most companies would deploy software, at least on the back end of things. Parameters would really indicate like the type of switch that you would use for the installation file. One of the biggest things to use is something like /q, which is a quiet install. Sometimes it's /s, and it just depends on what kind of package and what the developers decided to use as their switches for the piece of software. You might need to look it up individually. You might need to look it up individually for each piece of software. And usually the developer notes or documentation will tell you this stuff. Or you can actually use command line. Let me show you guys a really quick trick if you ever want to find the parameters of these setup files. If you launch the software, so we have Microsoft here, and do a / question mark, So we ended up getting this stupid screen. So generally speaking, it won't have the parameters for this specific piece of software, aka the exe itself. But if you're installing different types of software, do this /?, or even sometimes it'll work with double dash and then help. Probably do, yeah, it's going to do the same thing. But this is very specific to just this installer. Try it out on a different piece of software and you may get a box that shows you all the switches. I'll show that on screen for just a second so you can see what I mean. And that will display ways you can use these switches or developer notes on interesting things, or like having to input licenses and stuff like that. And this will help you basically just script your installs. So back to the actual package, I'm just going to keep this default. Again, you can use these quiet parameters if you know what you're doing there. And we're just going to hit save. So we've got our very first package created and we just want to deploy it. So we're just going to hit deploy once. So you can also schedule these. The scheduling is specific to the enterprise version, unfortunately, but we can deploy it manually to anything we want. So we can hit choose targets, and this is where PDQ inventory comes into play and makes it really seamless. You can target the collections in your inventory. And this is why I expressed when you divvy things up based on versions or applications, you can schedule stuff or manually deploy to those collections. And that makes a really dynamic situation where you can upgrade based on versions of applications or software or operating systems and things like that. And of course, you have these other options: deploy from Active Directory, deploy through a text file. So this would contain either your IP address, because you can deploy it that way, or the host name of a computer. So right now we are going to use PDQ inventory. We're going to do our collection. We should see our one collection here that we created once this decides to load. And scroll down here. I don't remember what I named it. So let's check out PDQ inventory. I created this here in our allow scan. Let me go back. Did it right here. This was our collection. It was not a good place to put that, so make sure you guys organize things correctly based on either versions or software, vendors, things like that. So it found the domain controller, and we can just hit deploy now. I'm not going to deploy Microsoft Edge to it, obviously. So that's it for PDQ deploy. There are a lot of other options, but again, locked by enterprise, this, that, and the other. But it's a really cool tool regardless. You can definitely use the free version, get a feel for it. If you want to upgrade to the enterprise version, you have a 14-day trial. You can try it out at your, convenience. But again, this is really it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. This is one of my favorite tools to use, and I hope you guys can find some use out of it too. If you have any questions at all, or just want to have a chat, feel free to leave anything in the comment section, and please like and subscribe. It would mean a lot to me and helps the channel a lot. So thanks again, guys. I'll see you in the next video.